Boop, 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 booyaka shot. Boop, 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 booyaka shot. Boop, 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 booyaka shot. Ch 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 chi. So you're scrolling through your phone and you see. So you're scrolling through your phone and you see it. Fantasy basketball. You thinking to yourself, already? The end of season just end? I'm getting ready for fantasy football. In this episode, we are here to prepare you to secure your fantasy basketball championship and your league prize money. We believe we we believe every NBA fan should support fantasy basketball content. So we're here now. If you're watching this, you are watching the uncut version of this episode. We are literally minutes away from the mock draft. I pulled up for a 10:30, but the minutes are saying 10. This is wild, Joe. Like literally the mock draft is supposed to start in 3 minutes, but the draft is saying that it doesn't start for the next 10 minutes. So I don't understand what the heck is happening, but I'm going to just go through, run through, shout out all the people who are in the room right now, and then we just gonna go from there. So first off, I want to give a shout out to B-Ball Dad, Mello's Magnificent Team, Francisco, Sam, Jalen, my man Isaiah, Trap, Bad Brilliant, Elijah, Jermaine, Alexander. So that's what's happening right now, which is very, very peculiar to me that we got 9 minutes left until the draft starts, but we sitting here literally, 3 minutes from 10:30. So I hope I don't have to restart this joint and start over. But while we're waiting, let me go pull up to the comments. My man Jay Wright. Yeah, Jay Wright is asking for a sub. Oh, no problem, my guy. I can't do it live in the mix right now, but why don't you just drop a comment? Oh, this should show up as a comment. So I'll definitely check all of the comments, and I would love to follow your channel, my guy. No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Then we got my man B-Ball Dad in the building. He says, excited for this draft. The community is growing. Great to see your hard work being noticed, Robin. B-Ball Dad, you already know how we get down. We out here every Sunday. And if you didn't know, we put in mad work during the week and did a bunch of bonus live streams. I would note that I was on the move because I was at a conference last week, and some of the quality from some of those videos were a little questionable because of the Wi-Fi connection, but the audio is good, so it's still going to be tons of value. Want to work on how we can improve that when I'm on the move. I don't know if I need to invest in like a little, Wi-Fi, kind of receiver deal, but we'll see how that goes. But thank you, bro. My man Phoenix is like, yo, let's go. A Puerto Rico. Oh, a Puerto Rico. Oh, yeah, you already know. Let's go. Let's go. Man, we are cooking with hot bacon grease already. So listen, it's 10:29 and ESPN is saying that we're not getting in the room for another 7 minutes. So again, if in fact we have to restart this joint, all good. I'm just letting you know that this is very peculiar. We have not seen this before. While we're here, if you guys have questions, please drop them in the chat. I will let you know a little bit more about what happened in the last 7 days when I tell you guys. I had the week of all weeks. Started out the week at work doing my 1-2 step, and then I had my first speaking engagement of the week, which was at the local Chamber of Commerce. Had to prepare like this, I want to say like a 90-minute presentation for some business owners, for my agency, because you guys know, like, I do social media work for mission-driven organizations. So I was giving this speech. Then the next thing we had was this conference called VidFest, which is really cool. And I actually talked about you, the Believe in Fantasy Basketball community, all of the championship members that we have in here, and was really pumped about that, just to share what we've been doing with our community. So Jay jumps in. He says, who would you take at 6 or 7 for 12 team points? So after 5, we know who the top 5 are really for points leagues. And honestly, it's mirroring what's happening in the category league space as well. But people are taking with 1 like Joker, 2 Shea or Wemby, then Shea or Wemby goes 3rd, then 4th we typically have Giannis or Luka, and then 5th we have Giannis or Luka. After that is where it gets interesting. What we're seeing is Anthony Davis go off the board at 6. We're also seeing Cade Cunningham go off the board at 6. And then we're seeing Anthony Edwards sometimes go off the board at 6. So it's interesting to see how it's all playing out. But ultimately, it's just a really exciting time for fantasy basketball managers and those like you and the rest of our community, because we're getting this early access to all this information. So it looks like the draft room is open now all of a sudden. Like, how many minutes? Now we're 20 seconds in. Lord, give me the strength. Give me the strength. Give me a second, guys. So we are here in the draft room and we are already 2 picks in. We all know that those top 5 picks are kind of always the same. We got the Joker going first. We got Wemby at 2, and now we got Shea at 3. I imagine we're going to see Giannis off the board, and then at 5, we're going to have Luka. It goes down just like I called it. I am not Miss Cleo, the clairvoyant, and I cannot tell the future. This is just what we have in these first 5 picks. Now the draft really starts at pick 6. We just had a question come in from Jay Wright. Who should I take at 6 or 7 for a points league? You're about to find out. We got Anthony Davis off the board with the 6th pick, and then we have Anthony Edwards, back-to-back Anthonys at the 1-7. So with the 7th pick, we have Anthony Edwards, and with the 6th pick, we got Anthony Davis. So we answered your question there. One of my favorite players to take at 6, Cade Cunningham. Absolutely love it. The selection that I chose for tonight is the 12th pick. I love the 12th pick. People often ask me, Robin, what's your favorite position? What's your favorite draft position? And for me, I like 1 and 12. I love getting that back-to-back action. It's just so like it feels like I'm getting a discount, like I'm getting a deal. Even though I have to wait longer for picks, it always feels good to get 2 players that I want right off the back to back. I'm up taking a look at the landscape to see who's available. Karl-Anthony Towns has fallen. I am fine with taking Karl-Anthony Towns with the 1st pick. And then with the next pick, I'll likely look at James Harden here. So I'll go ahead and grab Karl-Anthony Towns. And then for my 2nd pick, I'm going to grab James Harden. Let's get back to the recap. After Cade Cunningham at the 1-8, we had Trae Young at the 1-9. I am fine with that pick. At the 1-10, we have Domantas Sabonis. Totally fine with that in a points league. For a category league, he is going way later than that. Right now, his consensus combined blended ADP is 18.3, so he's going in the 2nd round. But in a points league, going at 10 is fine for Sabonis. Paolo Banchero poking his head into the 1st round for the first time that I've seen in a mock draft. And again, we have very, very sharp players in these mock drafts. These are guys who are mocking with us consistently in our community. So we're going to get some interesting decisions. And for me, I'm not mad at it. It's not what we've been seeing. We've been seeing him go in points leagues in that 2nd round. But even in expert drafts, we had one for our first Yahoo category league draft recently. You can check it out. I'll actually put a link at the end of this video for it. And we had some experts take some very interesting picks. Now, for category leagues, there are sometimes punt builds. If you guys don't know what punt builds are, it's basically when you build a team around certain categories where you don't really prioritize certain category groups, and then that way you can kind of focus in on certain players where they wouldn't be valued as high if you didn't have that particular roster build. And we saw some questionable picks there. But for Paolo, because he is such a points league guy, it's interesting to see him poke his head into the 1st round. After Paolo Banchero at the 1-11, we have Karl Anthony Towns at the bottom of the 12th. I grabbed James Harden at the top of the second. LeBron James goes at the 2-2. I mean, LeBron, father of time, James goes at the 2-2. Then we got Devin Booker at the 2-3. Jalen Brunson falling into the second round. This seems right, even though his projections are a lot higher on most of the sites for points leagues. At the 2-5, we have Tyrese Maxey. I think that is an absolute value bomb. Cover your ears, people. Wow. That is value. Tyrese Maxey in the second round, middle of the second. I love it. And there's some more value. We got Kevin Durant, KD off the board at the 2-6. And then we have even more value. We got Steph Curry, the babyface assassin, off the board at the 2-7. Scotty Too Hottie Barnes off the board at the 2-8. Then we have De'Aaron Fox at the 2-9. Then we got Evan Mobley at the 2-10. And my man Melo is up. So the draft is rolling right now. Amen. Pray to heaven. Thompson is off the board. I think that might be a tad bit too early for Amen Thompson. I could be wrong. But I think that's a little early for him. His current ADP is 28.1. So people are looking at him a little later than the second round here. But if you believe in a player, I say go for it, man. I say go for it. After that, someone who is falling and dropping, Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell off the board at the 2-12. Wow, how the mighty have fallen. This is a guy that was going at the top of the second round, and we've even seen him go as low as the third round. So for me, I think that's tough. That's tough, but I think it could be value for somebody, especially if he gets the minutes. People have some concerns, don't think he's going to get the minutes. I think he'll be all right. At the top of the third, oh my goodness, this is value. This is value. At the 3-1, we got Jalen Williams at the 3-1. Come on, ma. Come on, ma. Love that. Some more value. We got, well, I wouldn't call it value. I think it's a fair pick. At the 3-2, we got Tyler Hero. At the 3-3, Jalen Johnson. I think that is value. We're seeing Jalen Johnson go off the second round and almost going off the board in the second round in almost every mock draft we do. So it's interesting to see him fall here. Alperen, the Goon, Shin Goon at the 3-4. Pascal Siakam at the 3-5. We were watching Pascal Siakam go off the board way earlier than that at the beginning of our early mock draft season. So it's quite fascinating to see how slowly he's dropping. I've been high on him, but I think getting him in this area seems about right. He finished the season last year at 50, according to hashtag basketball points league rankings. He had multiple positional eligibility. He played power forward, small forward, center, finished the season averaging 20 and 6.9 rebounds per game. So he's a solid contributor for fantasy basketball. But again, I think third round is about right. I'm getting close to my pick, so let me go ahead and lock in. So I'm looking here at Chet Holmgren, if he's still available on the board. Definitely would be open to, don't want any more Joel Embiid stock. I drafted Joel Embiid the other day, and my stomach still hurts. Zion Williamson, I haven't drafted, and that would be interesting to me. I don't know if I have the strength and the minerals to do it, but there's another player that I am open to grabbing here. Chet Holmgren is off the board, so I'm going to go ahead and grab ya boy LaMelo Ball. So LaMelo Ball, grabbed him. Now I got another pick. I got to think quick. I'm looking at Kawhi Leonard here. Again, don't draft much Kawhi, but it's interesting to me. I haven't drafted much Ja Morant. Don't want to have both of those injured dudes on my team. Zion is also a question mark, but man, I might have to take some Zion. I haven't done it. I think it's time to do it. Let's go. Zion Williamson is on my team for the first time for the entire mock draft season. I'm more than hyped. Okay. So, I want to make sure we get to our folks and see what people are saying about the draft so far. We got Ray. He says JJ is fire, but he got injured for the season each time I had him. If we talking about, oh yeah, Jalen Johnson ain't he don't play. That's one thing. People are high on him, but he don't play. He don't play. Clesian says Fox over Jalen Johnson in the third round. Interesting. I'm not mad at it, but it definitely is interesting. Oh, shoot. Hari Chara, why didn't you tell me, my G? You pulled up with the wings? Come on, ma. I got to step my game up. You see, I can't be out here like creating new rituals and then I don't fulfill. So thank you for checking me there, man. Thank you, because I got to get the wings right. Finex says, nah, I prefer Ant, very healthy versus Cade. I'm not mad at that. I think anybody could be wrong. Anybody could be right. Me personally, I prefer Cade there. I prefer Cade just because of his ability to contribute in so many different areas. Jalen says, I love Paolo, but I can't advise picking him up in the first round either. Like Jalen says, agreed. I go Cade over Ant-Man every day. Same here. I don't believe in Ant Edwards top 7. I don't know if I agree with that, but I could see why one would say that. Ray says 6 or 7 is prime positions. I agree. Phoenix says people are saying that Luka should go 5, but I think he should go top 2. He is very valuable on points leagues. What do I think? I'll answer this one before we go back to the recap. So for me, I believe for a points league, it's fair to draft Luka at 2 if you like. I think those top 5 players, with the exception of the Joker, are kind of interchangeable. I wouldn't be mad if somebody said, hey, I want to take Wemby second. Hey, I want to take Giannis second. Hey, I want to take Luka second. You know what I mean? Giannis finished in points leagues at number 2 last year, so it's completely legit. And Luka, although he had some injury concerns last year, right? He still finished the fantasy basketball season at 5, averaging 28.2 points per game, 8.2 rebounds, 7.7 assists, 1.8 steals. Like, Luka is going to cook. And if you ain't see the pictures of skinny Luka, your man is on the cover of Men's Health magazine. He's going to cook up this season. This I can promise you. Let's get back to the recap. After the laughter comes tears. Okay, so we're going to push through this. I was up to Donovan Mitchell and then Pascal. Okay, cool. At the 3-5, we got Pascal Siakam. At the 3-6, Franz Wagner. At the 3-7, Jaylen Brown. At the 3-8, King Cooper Flag. At the 3-9, Bam Bam Adebayo. At the 3-10, Nikola Vucevic. At the 3-11, I shouldn't have said his name out loud because I think I got sniped there, Chet Holmgren. Then I grabbed LaMelo Ball at the 3-12, and then I turned around and grabbed Zion, how the mighty have fallen, Williamson at the 4-1, Ja Morant, a.k.a. with the blicky on the live stream at the 4-2. At the 4-3, Jamal Murray, Austin Reeves, Josh the Giddy at the 4-5, Jaren Jackson Jr. at the 4-6, Kawhi, busted thigh, Leonard at the 4-7. Then we have Derek White at the 4-8, DeMar, not like us, DeRozan at the 4-9. They're not like us. Okay. After DeMar DeRozan, we have Zubats at the 4-10, Julius Randle at the 4-11, Desmond, bring the pain, Bane at the 4-12, Joel Embiid at the 5-1, Kobe White at the 6-2, Dyson, the Merchant of Theft, Daniels at the 5-3, aka the Burglar at the 5-4, Josh Hart, Jared Allen at the 5-5, Jalen Green at the 5-6, at the 5-7, we got Zach LaVine. At the 5-8, Brandon Miller. We're all caught up. Let me take a look and see what I'm going to do. I'm going to say it out loud just because I need you to know. If somebody snipes me doing that, that's on you. I ain't mad at that at all. It is a mock draft. Okay, so here I'm looking at a bunch of crap. I don't want $100 cup of coffee, but I might have to do it. What the heck? And I'm interested in Laurie. I have some interest in Laurie, I might say. And this uh, let me figure this out. So Gobert, no. Fred Van Vliet, no. Jalen Duren, maybe. I haven't drafted much Jalen Duren, but I have some interest here. I'm gonna grab Duren. Might be a little bit there, but I'm gonna grab Duren. Now let me come back and see what I'm gonna do with this second pick. I get a lot of Freddie. Mikal Bridges, not the sexiest. Jimmy, I think Jimmy could be value here, and I never have Jimmy. I'm gonna do it. $100 cup of coffee. Let's go. Let's go. All right. So let's get back to the recap quickly. After Zach Watchaback Levine at the 5'7", we have Brandon Miller at the 5'8". At the 5'9", we have Miles Turner. At the 5'10", Miles Bridges. At the 5'11", Walker, the Stalker, Kessler. At the 5'12", Jalen Duren. At the 6'1", Jimmy, $100 cup of coffee. And then we got your mans in him at the 6'2", baby Jordan himself, Denny Avdia. At the 6'3", we got Rudy Gobert. And I'm not mad at Rudy Gobert. That's one thing. I say it all the time. Go for it, man. Just go for it. At the 6'4", we have Brandon Ingram. And people are asking me, I'm getting a lot of questions online about Brandon Ingram, what our expectations will be for him in this new setting, and just what do I think about it. And I'll say this. I've had Brandon Ingram on my team when he's healthy, when he played for the Pels, and he was an absolute beast for points leagues. So for me, I know the potential is there. I know that he can be a solid scorer. The concerns I have are not so much the health, but my concerns are the numerous mouths to feed on this squad, right? So there's Scotty Barnes there, Emmanuel Quickley. I'm confident that Brandon Ingram, with his skill set, will be able to carve out a role. But my concern is, where do they put him in the pecking order in terms of being a scoring option? Because most of his value comes from his scoring. So if in fact he can be the number 2 scorer on the team, I think 6th round is great. And I think he is probably the second best, or maybe even the best scorer on the team, depending on how you look at it. I think it's worth giving him a shot in that 6th, 7th round area. I'm okay with that. After Brandon Ingram, we have DeJounte Murray. I have concerns about him. I probably won't be drafting him. Fred Van Vliet, Trey Murphy III, Jakob Poeltl at the 6. Wait a minute. Trey Murphy is at the 6'7". I told my kids I would do that. At the 6'8", we got Jakob Poeltl. At the 6'9", we got Kristaps Porzingis. I love that pick. Oh my gosh. 6'10", we got Kyrie Irving. No, that's too early for me. That's too early for my budget. Nah, I'd rather take a person who's injury prone like Porzingis, who's actually healthy now, before I take a guy who's not coming back until February or something like that. I'm just not doing that. At the 6'11", we got RJ Barrett. At the 6'12", we got Mikal Bridges. At the 7'1", we got Lauri Markkanen. I love that pick. At the 7'2", we got the most toxic press run having dude on the internet, Michael Porter Jr. Your man is out here cooking with hot cringe juice. At the 7'3", Peyton Pritchard. And then at the 7'4", my man Sam is up. There's still some goodness on the board. Let's see what he cooks up. Gone. What you got, my guy? He going right to the wire. Darius Garland. Oh, that's good. We're going to give him a value bomb. Guys, cover your ears for this one. Oh, my God. Dag. Your man came up on that. At the 7-4, Darius Garland. I love that pick. At the 7-5, Jordan. Leave the kids at the pool with the baddies. At the 7-5. At the 7-6, one of my favorite players to draft, Isaiah Hartenstein. At the 7-7, one of my least favorite players to draft, CJ McCollum. At the 7-7, a guy I'm kind of like undecided on, Mark Williams at the 7-8. I'm going to be up soon, so let me go ahead and lock in. Okay, so at this point of the draft, I would definitely be open to John Collins, definitely be open to Jalen Suggs, definitely be open to Bradley Beal, definitely be open to potentially Nick Claxton, potentially. There's another guy I'm interested in. I don't want to say his name, because if I say his name, no, somebody gonna grab him. I just know how these rats do. Not rats, I'm sorry. Snipers. Snipers is what I meant to call you guys. My bad. You're not a rat. Where is he? Is he gone already? Let me see if my man DeAndre Ayton's in here, because I have not drafted any Ayton. I want some Ayton. Shish kebabs. I'm gonna take Ayton. Yes. So I reached a little bit there for Ayton, but I'm fine with that. I think he's going to make up for that and then some. My next pick, I'm looking at John Collins here, Jalen Suggs, perhaps. This is the game you play. So I'm a panic pick John Collins there. I wanted Suggs, but I kind of scrolled down in a way that if I tried to get him with that 7 seconds left, I might have lost him. So I'm safely going to go with my man, John Collins. Now, let's get back to the recap. After Mark Williams, we got OG Anunoby. Gosh, I love that pick. At the 7-10, we got Paul George. Gosh, I hate that pick. At the 7-11, we got Cam Thomas. He don't got a team. Not feeling that. DeAndre Ayton at the 7-12. I feel like I might have reached a little bit, but I'm completely fine with that. At the 8-1, John Collins, panic pick, but it's okay. Cameron Johnson at the 8-2, Christian Brown at the 8-3, Anthony Simons at the 8-4, Emmanuel quickly at the 8-5. Let's check what's happening in the chat. All right, cool. So, yo, Ray said, yo, when I said that out loud, I was laughing inside to myself. I said, hot cringe juice. Yo, what did I say? I was talking about Michael Porter Jr. He got the hot cringe juice press run. Oh, that's good. That had me dying too, bro. Jalen says, Denny going earlier. I see it. When I grabbed Jimmy $100 cup of coffee, I was considering Denny. I just like, it's kind of against my religion to draft him that early, but the more I see it, the more I believe it. Josh Hart at 5'4", interesting. I think he's due for some regression this year. I'm out on Josh Hart. Not because he's bad. I think he's great for fantasy, but where he's going in drafts and where they have him projected, Mike Brown is not about that run you till your cartilage on your knees gives out life, right? I don't think he's going to be playing the minutes that he played. We will see some regression. Yeah, I'm not messing with him really. Lucas says, which Portland big men are you more keen on, Clingan or Yang? I actually did a video about this the other day. It's really cool that you asked me that question. There was a gentleman from The Athletic who wrote a piece recently about Yang, and I read it and I was kind of sold on it. Basically, what he was saying is that he ranks Yang as a top 25 center in the league, not just like rookie, like center. He thinks he's a top 25 center in the league, and he believes that he will leapfrog Clingan in the pecking order in the front court. So for me right now, I'm with I'm with Yang because they both have upside. They're both young. I saw a little bit of Clingan. It was okay. He had some good days, but ultimately, what I saw from Yang in the summer league, oh my God, your man was cooking with hot bacon grease, and I loved it. So for me, right now, tentatively, I'm leaning towards Yang on the strength of the upside. This article, and you'll see the video that we did about it, and it'll give you more context. Next question: where do you rate Dyson Daniels? I'm okay with Dyson Daniels for points leagues. I think he's more valuable in a category league, depending on how you're building your roster. And I think that where he's going in some points leagues is fair. Not as high on him as some, but definitely a player that you will overpay for based on how much you paid last season. Folks got an absolute steal on him last season because no one knew. My man Adam King from Old Man Sportsnet, Old Man Fantasy Squad, your man, he was high on Daniels from the jump. So we'll see how it plays out. But I'm about where the projections have him. Okay, so let me lock in because I actually have to make a couple of picks really quick. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll down a little bit. I see a couple of players that I'll be interested in. So I'm going to just go ahead and throw a Q button on them jokers just to see what's happening here. And I think that might be, if they're there, those would be the two players I'd be interested in. So I queued up Bradley Beal. At this point of the draft, getting Bradley Beal in the 9th, 10th round, I'm completely fine with that. This is the back of the 9th, so I'm fine with that. So I'll draft him. And this is exciting to me, grabbing Alex Sarr at the top of the 10th. I'm going to go for it. We're going to start seeing more rookies and young second-year players go off the board, but Sarr is somebody that people are kind of overlooking. So on the strength of that, I'm going to just go ahead and try to queue up a few more players so that way I can be ready to rock and roll for my next couple of picks. Definitely got some interest in Andrew Nembhard. Also have some interest in I don't think I'm queuing anybody up. Let me go back to the recap. My apologies. I'm not going to do that right now. It's giving me a headache. I'm like, no, I'd rather just freestyle it right now. Okay. So after DeAndre Ayton, we had John Collins, Cameron Johnson, Christian Brown, Anthony Simons at the 8-4. Quickly, Suggs, Bailey. Wow. Ace Bailey is going earlier and earlier. Come on, man. After Ace Bailey, we have Onyeka Okongwu at the 8-10, Ben Mathurin. At the 8-11, we have Jaden Ivey. I love that pick. At the 8-12, we got D'Angelo Russell. I'm okay with that pick. At the 9-1, Asar Thompson, Naz Reid, Donovan Clingan off the board at the 9-3. Nick Claxton at the 9-4. Keontae George at the 9-5. Malik Monk at the 9-6. Aaron Gordon, Andrew Wiggins, Tobias Harris, Dan Gafford at the 9-10. Jaden McDaniels at the 9-11. Then I grabbed Bradley Beal at the 9-12. Then we got Alex Sarr at the 10-1. Oh, man, shish kebabs. I missed my guy. Dang. Matas Buzelis off the board at the 10-2. That was supposed to be my pick. I knew it was somebody I was forgetting about. Dang. Oh. At the 10-3, Draymond Green. At the 10-4, Shaedon Sharpe. At the 10-5, VJ Edgecombe. Yo, I was watching your man VJ Edgecombe in the Rico Hines runs. Yo, your man VJ Edgecombe is, in fact, a problem.
Okay.
At the 10-6, we got Andrew Nembhard. At the 10-7, Khalil Ware. Jared McCain at the 10-8, Brandon Pajimski at the 10-9, Zach Ricochet at the 10-10, Bobby Portis, Devin Vassell, and we are all the way caught up. So now I think I will take a minute to just queue up a few players. I won't say their names out loud just because the snipers will hear. But anyway, you look at it, they're gonna see my daggone. They're probably looking at the screen. You guys are some daggone sickos. All right, there's not much happening here. Jeez Louise, this joint looks crazy. Let me just go ahead and search for these guys. Let me just dag. They grabbed what? What the heck? Hold up. Let me find out. Y'all are not playing. Let me find out. Let me search this guy's name again. Did they draft Jay Huff already? Yo, what is wrong with y'all? You guys are some sickos. Jeez Louise. They didn't draft him already. There's no way. They didn't draft him already. What's happening here? They just won't let me queue them up. What's happening here? They didn't draft him yet. There's no way they drafted my man because I didn't say his name yet. They just not allowing me to queue him up or something. That's what's happening here because there's no way in heck that your man Jay Huff is at 707 and y'all jokers is out here trying to queue him up. Anywho. All right, so I'm up in a minute. They're not allowing me to pull up my man Huff. So if you guys don't have Jay Huff circled on your draft boards, do it now. Definitely somebody you want to keep an eye on. Let me see if they let me queue this guy up. Oh, shoot. Dylan Harper's off the board. Dang. Kyle Filipowski's off the board. Yo, this is reigning rookies and second-year players. Jeez Louise, you guys are not playing, man. In this area, I always tell people swing for the fences. I think I got 2 picks left. 3 picks left. 3 picks left. So, and I'll have 2 of them right here. So let's see what we got. Shish kebabs. This joint is broke. That's the only thing that I can say. This is not even real. This is not even real. This is not even real. Like, what's happening here? Why can't I queue up my man? Why can't I queue up my man? What's happening? This is wild. This is wild work. This is questionable, wild work. I'm gonna take Isaiah. I'll take Isaiah Collier, but I really wanted to grab Huff, Yang, Kalkbrenner, and it's like they won't let me queue them jokers up. I know they're not off the board because I ain't seen them yet. Jeez Louise, can I get a break? Dang, jokers is just doing me all kinds of dirty. All right. Dick it is. Jeez Louise. This is stuff I gotta do. I gotta draft Grady Dick. God, let's get back to the recap. Man, I'm heartbroken. All right. Here we go. After the laughter again comes the tears. I think we were up to. Ooh, I love this pick. After Devin Vassell, we have Kevin Porter Jr. at the 11-1. Absolutely love that pick. Walter Clayton Jr. at the 11-2. At the 11-3, Derek Lively II. Tumani Kamara at the 11-4. Bilal Koulibaly. Stefan Castle. Kyle Filipowski. Love it. Dylan Harper at the 11-8. Colin Sexton at the 11-9. Keegan Murray at the 11-10. Igor Demon. Oh, man, I love that one. Isaiah Collier. I like the pick. 12-1. Grady Dick. I'm okay with that. I probably give myself a maybe on that. Whatevs. Jonathan Kuminga. Dante DiVincenzo. Russell Westbrook at the 12-5. Brandon Clark. Con Knipple at the 12-5. Yo, let me get a value bomb. Get down. Cover your ears. At the 12-7, we got Scoot, the boot, Henderson. At the 12-8, TJ McConnell. I think he'll eat. Not mad at that. At the 12-9, Quentin Grimes. Let me see if I can pull up some more players because all right, so I can queue up PJ. So let me see if I search PJ, if they'll allow me to queue him up. So PJ Washington. Yeah, He's drafted. Who the hell drafted him? Okay, let's try Ayo Dosunmu. Let's try that. Oh, I can queue him up. Those guys are gone? Dang, why can't I queue up Kalkbrenner? They not gone because I would have seen them when I did the recap, right? This is wild, Joe. This is wild work. Jay Huff is off the board, so he was there. B-ball dad, you lucky I like you, man. You can have him, but don't be huffing too much. Take it easy. Jeez Louise. Take it easy on the huffing. All right. So let's get back to the recap because it's obvious that the almighty ESPN algorithm does not want me to draft the players that I actually want. Freaking heck. Stephen A. Smith strikes again. All right. So after Quentin Grimes, we have PJ Washington, Tari Eason, Jay Huff, Jonas Valanciunas. I think that's value. I'm not mad at that. And then at the 12-2, Melo is up. Have a sip of my drink while we wait for him to make his decision. Two seconds left. He grabs Brook Lopez. I don't know about that one, but it's still Brook Lopez. What are we going to do? Isaiah Jackson off the board. No relation to Michael. And then we got Sam up with Jabari Smith Jr. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna just hold. I was about to say I'm about to go scroll and look for Kalkbrenner. It's clear that there's some kind of glitch happening tonight because I couldn't queue up the players that I want, but I'm gonna let it ride. Nikola Jovic, Ayo Dosunmu at the 13-7, Santi Aldama. Then we have Vince Williams, and then that's at the 13-8. And then we have a few more picks. And make sure you stick around because I'm going to give my honest review of my team. It's a daggone, a ritual here. After Williams, we got Kuzma, LeVert, Harrington. And then my last pick, I will go with the most legendary player available on the board. An oldie but goodie, but mostly an oldie, Chris Paul. Now, here goes an honest review of my team. We're going to use our world famous 1 through 5 GOAT rating. 1 GOAT means the team sucks. 5 GOATs means it's near perfect. I average a 3-4 GOAT rating. Let's get it. Karl-Anthony Towns. Yes, absolutely. Love that one. Okay. James Harden. Yes. LaMelo Ball. Yes. Zion Williamson. Maybe. Jalen Duren. Yes. Jimmy $100 cup of coffee. Maybe. DeAndre Ayton. Reluctant. Yes. John Collins. Maybe. Bradley Beal. Maybe. Alex Sarr. Emphatic. Yes. Isaiah Collier, maybe. Grady Dick, maybe. And of course, Chris Paul, we're going to just give him a heck to the nah. Too old. So not the best draft for me, but I'm still really happy with the top part, especially grabbing Cat, James Harden, and LaMelo. I feel really good about that. I feel like there's some value there with grabbing Beal and Sarr. Maybe I reached for Ayton. Not sure if it was okay to draft Butler as well. Reach for Duren a little bit. And Zion, if he plays, this will probably be a 4 GOAT rating. But based on what we have, honestly, I'll give this team a 2 out of 5 GOAT rating. Now that you know who to draft from the 12th position, check out this episode so you can. Now that you know who to draft from the 12th position, check out our playlist with all of our mock drafts. This episode was presented to you by FanDuel. Cut. Another one. If you're watching this, you are watching an uncut version of this episode. We leave in all of the mistakes. We just kind of go with the flow, but there is going to be an edited version of this episode coming out really soon. The uncut version usually comes out later. If you want to go back and see this like later on tonight and you're watching it live, grab the URL because it will be available. It would just be unlisted. So let's go ahead and get to it. Jay Wright says, nice team. VJ will be rookie of the year. Not mad at that one. Nah, passing on VJ. Did I pass on VJ for Dick? Hey, yo, that's crazy work, my G. Why you frame it like that? That is the pause. You get the pause applause. We got to give him the pause applause for that one. That's good. Yes, VJ might go crazy. I should have grabbed VJ. Yeah, Matas. That one, I'm heartbroken about that one, Jalen. Oh, I think I grabbed. Who did I grab? I think that was when I grabbed 4-8. It might have been Sar and Beal. I'd trade Beal for Matas anytime of day, anytime. B-Ball Dad, my guy. He says great draft. Love the Sar pick. I did too. That I was happy with. Beal, I would have traded Beal for Matas all day. Great vid too, by the way. I gotta learn how you do the screen share and still show your face. Let me know, Jay. Just hit me at info@believeinfantasy.com. Hit me at info@believeinfantasy.com and just ask any questions you have. While I'm here, let me tell you guys about the contest that we're doing. It's the biggest contest that we've had of the channel. So we're going to give away a $100 Amazon gift card. We're also giving away a bunch of rookie cards, Halliburton, Edwards, Mobley, Maxey, LaMelo, and a mystery card that it looks like the people have decided they want a Cade Cunningham card. To enter, all you have to do is visit believeinfantasy.com. Once you sign up, you're going to get an email with a link to a survey. Complete the survey, and that enters you. If you're already in the community, already on the email list, and you've already signed up, but you don't know where the link is, just send me an email at info@believeinfantasy.com, and I'll share it with you. Or you could just holler at me or my man Antech in the Discord community, and we'll be glad to share that with you. Okay? And then we got Mello says, amen for the win. I think that's a good way to end. Amen. Amen. Don't forget, play the waivers, set your lineups, and believe in fantasy. Peace. I don't know why I beatbox there. Talk to you later.